Now, if y'all thought that the beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake was over and done with, well, you better think again. Because Kendrick just dropped a crazy bombshell to prove that Drake is getting bolder and cockier as time goes on. It was recently reported that Drake just bought a $15 million mansion in a remote part of Texas. But allegedly, Kendrick is claiming that Drake allegedly bought the house because the age of consent in Texas is pretty low. And that part of the state is notorious for letting young girls be S.A'd. Well, they're saying that Kendrick has come up with some damaging receipts about how Drake allegedly plans to run an S club in the mansion. The tea is crazy on this because Kendrick is about to get messy all over again. Y'all, they saying Kendrick is determined to end Drake once and for all and expose him for the shady and creepy man that he allegedly is. And with the recent moves that Drake has been making, it's kind of hard not to believe these accusations. Now, while Drake and Kendrick were dropping diss tracks against each other back and forth, Drake's house in Toronto got involved in a drive-by, and one of the security guards working at the mansion was hit.
Police confirming a occurred outside the home of Canadian rapper Drake in Toronto. This happening overnight in the wake of an escalating beef between Drake and hip-hop star Kendrick Lamar. This is the scene outside of Drake's home in the city's Bridle Path neighborhood, courtesy of our CTV News chopper. Police say a man sustained serious injuries after outside that home and was taken to hospital. Police also say a suspect fled in a vehicle, but no description has been released. So far, there's no word on whether Drake was at home at the time of the shooting, but we understand from police that he has offered to fully cooperate with them.
Now, initially, fans blamed Kendrick since he and Drake had been trading shots and airing out some dirty laundry. Kendrick even put a photo of Drake's house on the cover of his diss track, Not Like Us, complete with Drake's address. So when someone shot up Drake's house, folks were quick to point the finger at Kendrick for sharing the address. However, other fans point out that Drake's address had been public for a while, long before he and Kendrick started their feud. So yeah, social media sleuths quickly exonerated Kendrick of all of that, and they started pointing fingers at the Weeknd, claiming that it was the Weeknd's way of getting back at Drake for shooting at his manager's house a few weeks before. Now, even though Drake never took responsibility for that, it's believed that he allegedly put out a hit because of a feud that he has ongoing with the Weeknd. Yo, at this point, Drake is beefing with half the internet and half of Hollywood, which makes it a whole mess. But so that y'all know the deeds, anybody that knows the Weeknd knows Cash because he's always with the Weeknd since way back then. Well, thankfully, Cash himself wasn't harmed, but a security guard got hit and ended up in the hospital. It was a chilling reminder that sometimes the drama spills out of the music and into the real world. But the police released a statement that said, the victim, male, black, 37 years, was inside a guard shack when he heard several gunshots and he discovered he had been struck. The suspects, 3 male, no further details, fled from the location. LAFD responded and transported the victim to a local hospital in unknown condition. Location, 17500 block of Jaden Lane Road, 1067, April 29, 2024 at 0:25 hours. So with all of this going on, it's no surprise that some people assumed that the beef between Kendrick and Drake was over. And Drake even posted a pity message on Instagram where he hinted that he was dealing with depression.
Maybe this is criticism. Maybe I do. But when you die, will people notice? When I go, there will be a lot of memories of me by a lot of people. Many will hate me, even so. A person needs to live with vigor. Otherwise, what's born.
But this was concerning even though we thought that Drake and Kendrick were over and done after that. But y'all, we were pretty much wrong because Kendrick went over and beyond in his diss track to expose Drake as a weirdo who allegedly preys on young girls. And like I said, it's like Drake isn't even trying to fight these allegations. A couple of days ago, it was announced that Drake had purchased the Dos Brisas Ranch in Washington, Texas for a whopping $15 million. According to reports, the property boasts a 14,300 square foot Mediterranean-style home and features a wide range of amenities, including an organic farm, an equestrian facility, a resort-style pool, a hot tub, a tennis court, while its surroundings are filled with pecan trees and wildflowers, 3 ponds, and a peach creek. So yeah, I guess your typical ranch-style rapper mansion with some country lavish things. However, what is really concerning here is the location of the mansion, because it's a little bit sketchy. First off, the ranch is in a very remote location in Texas, which already sends some alarm bells ringing, but hey, maybe he just wants some country privacy, right? I mean, being one of the biggest celebs in the world, having your last house shot up, maybe you just want some space to yourself, Drake. However, the really sketchy part here is that the area is notorious for some very shady activities. You know, the type of shady stuff that Diddy is being accused of by the feds. But not only that, there are also allegations that the area is notorious for child trafficking. According to reports, that is only an hour and 10 minutes from the city with the most reported human trafficking cases in America and has the highest number of child trafficking cases. Y'all, being accused of being inappropriate with minors and then choosing to relocate to an area that is notorious for that type of thing is a very, very bad idea. And again, it doesn't seem like he's interested in trying to beat these allegations. But even weirder, there's the fact that the age of consent in Texas is 17. So no matter how old you are, you can be intimate with a 17-year-old. But wait, it definitely gets worse. It's also completely legal in Texas to date a minor under the age of 17 as long as there's no intimacy involved. So it's perfectly legal to pursue a romantic relationship as long as you don't get between the sheets. I don't know, y'all, it's some country messiness. But allegedly, Kendrick is saying that Drake's alleged plan to get away with this behavior was deliberate. Drake allegedly got worried about the legal repercussions during the beef with Kendrick, so he is trying to cover himself on all legal fronts. And y'all, if there's someone who wants to put their back into exposing Drake for being a weirdo, it's Kendrick. In his song Meet the Grams, Kendrick went for the jugular and really called Drake out, saying stuff like, "I think niggas like him and Weinstein should get effed up in a cell for the rest of their life. He hates black women, with kinks of an info who facial hair because he understood being a beard just fit him better. He got offenders on Hovio that he keeps on a monthly allowance. A child should never be compromised, and he keeping his child around them. And we gotta raise our daughters knowing there's like him lurking." Well, Kendrick's words definitely had an impact, sparking a frenzy of investigation into Drake's past. Let's just say the people uncovered some seriously shady stuff, including allegations that he has been quietly settling misconduct allegations for quite some time. Now, if you've been tuned into the grapevine, then you probably heard the whispers about Drake's weird behavior around younger girls. Case in point, the situation with Millie Bobby Brown. When Millie was just 14, she spilled the tea in an interview that she and Drake have been texting quite a bit. This raised eyebrows because Millie mentioned that Drake mainly chatted her about boys. It was a kind of unsettling because why would a grown man in his 30s, Drake, considering talking about boys with a child that's barely a teenager?
What about your relationship with Drake? Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more." He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited. Yeah.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys, he helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
And let's not forget the other instances that raised some serious eyebrows, like Drake texting Billie Eilish when she was just 17, while he was well into his 30s still. Or his quick romance with Bella Harris right after she turned 18. And then there was that uncomfortable moment when he kissed a 17-year-old fan on stage after she told him her age. It was like he couldn't control himself. And don't even get me started on the rumors that Drake supposedly hires folks to help him score younger girls. But y'all, it gets worse. Fresh allegations started surfacing, like someone claiming that Diddy, it's so hard to see the difference between these two. Well, he allegedly had high school girls at his parties in his mansions.
If I'm being real with you, bro, growing up in high school, 16, 17, 18, having a crush on the baddest girl in your school, and then seeing her post at Drake's mansion every single time, seeing Drake in the follows, you don't know how demoralizing that is to a young teenage boy in Canada. So if I'm gonna be real, I've been waiting for this guy to downfall for a minute. I'm gonna still bump his music because that shit goes crazy, but this is for the younger generation. They don't have to deal with that no more.
Then there's this old video of him being all creepy with the members of the girl group OMG Girls. And this happened live in everybody's face at the 2009 BET Awards during a performance with Lil Wayne. They brought up the OMG Girls on stage, and at one point, Drake's behavior towards one of the girls was just weird, and you can tell she was very uncomfortable. But the craziest part about all this whole saga, it goes back into 2019 when Drake allegedly paid a woman $350,000 after she accused him of S.A'd. The story seemed to disappear after that, like Drake's team managed to sweep it under the rug, and almost every mention of the case has vanished from the internet. However, the woman Layla Lace gave a few interviews detailing what happened and how Drake allegedly assaulted her, but somehow these interviews mysteriously disappeared too. But you know, I'm always here with the inside scoop, baby! And I managed to dig up one video of Layla discussing the incident, and you just gotta hear it for yourself.
How sure are you that you're pregnant by Drake and not somebody else?
Let me tell you something. And I'm gonna just make this clear because, you know, I have been asked that before. I have a child, okay?
Okay.
I'm a mother already, okay? I know who I sleep with unprotected, period. So it's 100% sure. He knows it. So at the end of the day, I'ma just leave it at that, you know?
And when you approached him about it, because you told him you were pregnant,
Right.
what was his response to that information?
He pretty much was just like, oh, what's wrong? And then I told him, and then he pretty much was like, I'm gonna call you back. And the phone calls just stopped. Everything stopped.
Well, Kendrick is now claiming that Drake allegedly bought the house in Texas in that specific location because he could easily run an S club with young girls because it's easy to navigate around the law in Texas, allegedly. Well, the streets have definitely been talking, and these internet agents were not here to play with Drake. They've been saying stuff like, I have this feeling that Drake is going to end up like Diddy. I'm glad Drake is finally getting called out for his creepy behavior towards teenagers on a larger scale. But how are there people still defending him? Some of y'all are weird. And I'm so glad to finally witness Drake's downfall. Always hated that perv weirdo. But y'all know the drill. I got to know how you feel about this. Sound off in the comments. Let me know what you're feeling about this. Do you think Drake moved to Texas on purpose with some shady activities? Or did he just want a new country lifestyle? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and then check out this next video.